Now, with Holocaust Remembrance Day just behind us, Israel is looking ahead to next week's two big days. It's Memorial Day and Independence Day. Now, this year, Israel is marking 75 years since its birth, and a highlight of the ceremony on Independence Day Eve, as always, will be the lighting of 12 torches symbolizing the dozen tribes of ancient Israel, each one set aflame by an outstanding individual who has contributed to the state. One of them is Dina Avidar Weiner, founding president and chairperson emerita of ISIF, the Israel Scholarship Education Foundation, which for some 4 decades has provided educational opportunities for outstanding youngsters from disadvantaged communities. She herself has come a long way, like the 12 tribes. She came to Israel out of Egypt, her birthplace, and she joins us in our studio. Nina, thank you for joining us on I-24 News. Maybe we'll get to your, I'm curious about your personal story, but talk about ISIF a little bit, because I'm not sure everybody understands the contribution they make.
Sure. Well, the first time I had a chance to see the reality of the problem is when I finished high school here in Israel. I came to Israel in '49, okay, and the country was really, just starting. And I couldn't go to the army. I had some health issues, but anyway, I was able to go to study in Switzerland with Piaget psychology, child psychology.
Right.
And we used to go, a small group of Israelis and non-Jews, to visit and to volunteer into youth aliyah camps in the south of France, near Marseille. And there was a camp of Aliyat Hanor that used to receive children from the North Africa, from all the countries of North Africa, children from the age of 12 to 15 that came without their parents. And I had just encountered, coming from Alexandria, that was a very sophisticated city, I had encountered sophisticated Israeli children where I studied in Tel Aviv, Gymnasia Herzliya. And when I saw these children without their families, many of them couldn't read and write, I really realized there's going to be a big problem when they come to Israel. A big gap, educational, social, economic, but mostly cultural. And it stayed with me because I really felt that to build, as a Zionist, I was born a Zionist with two Zionist parents, to build a strong country, you had to close these gaps. And this is where it started, in the mid-50s. And I came back to Israel after Switzerland, and I worked with these children, with Professor Feuerstein. But then I continued my education, I got married, I lived 50 years in America. But my real chance was when I met Edmond Safra. And there I saw I could really get some help.
A very wealthy banker and philanthropist.
Very wealthy,
Jewish,
generous,
yes.
Charming, very, very nice, and Sephardic. So I went to him in the 70s, and I told him, Edmond, please help. Help me. I can do the job. I can do the work. I can set up a whole organization. Just back me up. And he did. He called 12 of his friends, they were all Syrian Lebanese Jews, at the bank that he had at the time, Republic National Bank, and within an hour, he got me $1 million, and he said, he trusted me, and he knew my family, he knew my husband. He said, go ahead. And that was in '77.
Right.
And I knew a lot of people in Israel, somehow, from a variety of sources. And I went to all the presidents of the universities, and I had the idea, I said, you match us. We started with the 300 students. Very soon we went to 400.
Giving them scholarships for advanced, the outstanding ones, to get the kind of education they couldn't afford themselves.
And I had a feeling from the beginning that we have jewels in the middle of the desert in Israel, jewels that we have to polish. From the periphery, from those people, from the people that came from North Africa. We started with Sephardim for maybe a decade and a half, and then there were more immigrants that came from Russia, from Ukraine, from different places, from Ethiopia. So slowly, we decided to give scholarships to all the people in the periphery and to go more with poverty and of course ability. And we look for we have a very serious criteria.
Right.
People that want to give to society themselves, some leadership abilities,
right.
Role modeling, to be able to be role models to
it's
others.
valuable work, Nina. There's so much talk in Israel now about these social gaps, the difference between the center and the periphery. Now, as you're honored for your work on the 75th anniversary, how are you feeling in general about it? So much done, so much more to be done?
Exactly. So much done. We have 400 a year. We have more than 8,000 alumni. We have more than 40 professors, heads of department at university. This is quite unusual. Mizrahis and Bitons and, names you didn't used to hear so much at the top level of academia.
Right.
But so much done, and so much yet to be done.
Yeah.
And it has to, my hope, first of all, I'm very, very touched and very honored about this honor.
It is an honor to be chosen as one of the 12
It's a huge honor. It's a huge honor. But I hope that it's the right time to really shed light on the problem that didn't disappear. It didn't go away yet.
Not at all. In fact, some try to argue it in some ways. At least the debate about it is let's say as noticeable as ever.
Yeah, if people still go and visit those places in Dimona and Yerucham, and we have heads of mayors of different cities that are our alumni. In Yerucham, in different places, we have alumni that have top positions. Still, we need to do more. The governments, it has to become mamlachti. We have to do more.
Right, part of the official, just a way of thinking of the establishment in Israel.
Absolutely. There's a great need. A lot was done, and more has to be done.
All right. Let me ask you on a personal level, as a child who came out of Egypt, as you said, a very difficult transition. Just how does it feel now to be honored, given the highest honor? Certainly one of the highest honors Israel to give to someone who probably went as a child in Egypt, who knows even if you thought you'd see a Jewish state?
I'm sorry that my parents can't be here, because everything I am today is thanks to my mother, particularly, who had phenomenal values, and my father, and I wish they could see me. That's the one regret I have, because everything else is so exciting, and I feel honored, and I'm very happy about this, that I was chosen, and I just think it's a very exciting event. Very exciting.
All right. You came with your parents out of Egypt. Your family came.
Passed a long time ago.
Right.
My mother lived to 101.
To 101.
She was born in Rishon from the Papo family, and her father created the Yekev. And my mother went to Gymnasia Herzliya Machzor Rishon, first year.
First school.
First year. So
well, you have come from I think the best stock that Israel can
very
provide.
Zionist.
But I would say that you have done your parents proud. And as you said, so much done in thanks to ISIF. People should know and contribute and be aware of it, and so much more to be done on that particular mission. Nina, Avidar Weiner, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you, of course, on the eve of Independence Day next week.
Thank you very much for having me.